I guess that today has been a better day than yesterday. There have been some developments of sorts. I finally got out of Belgium and into the Netherlands, and I started the day riding the bike with my backpack on my back, and I was kind of more and more, I don't know, like enjoying the feeling like I was getting somewhere, rather than just a slow, methodical plodding along of walking and only covering a measly 40 kilometers a day, which when you're walking, of course, feels like a lot. It takes like 8 hours or something with, pushing all of the luggage and stuff to cover that kind of distance. But with a bike, you do that in 2 hours. And just as an aside, this is a problem of mine, really, I don't know, a thing about me, I suppose, of this urge to do things quickly. It's basically like what's called an ADHD type symptom, I suppose. Just being very impatient, bored easily, wanting to do things very quickly. So I was sick to death of Belgium, really. I just wanted to get out of there. And I got into the Netherlands, and you wouldn't even know that you changed countries, to be honest. It was so unceremonious. I passed across the border in kind of a suburban residential area. The only thing that really drew attention to the fact that I crossed the border was the fact that I lost cell phone service temporarily. So I got out when I got into the Netherlands anyway, riding the bike to get back to the main thread. I decided that I was going to go and buy a rack. I'd been thinking about it while I was riding in the morning in air quotes. I don't usually start until 12. But in the first part of the day's movement, I was thinking just like, I should get a rack. And make this kind of more so exclusively a bike ride and not a walk. And so rather serendipitously, there was a bike shop just basically in the first town across the border on the road. I went in and one interesting thing about that was that bike shop. Like, people were looking at me like I just fucking, I don't know, like I just come out of a fucking crashed spaceship or something. Like it was something so just bizarre and exotic. Sure, it's probably obvious that I look a little disheveled or whatever. I've been, without a shower and not living like a civilized type life for a week. I've been just sleeping rough and out in the sun all day, and I was very sweaty when I went in and all of this, but come on. I don't know, maybe I'm so autistic that I just don't see how I don't know, I can't see myself, right? I can't see what other people are seeing. have one of these strong beers again. This one's Belgian and not German, but it's stronger than the one that I had last night. This one's 8.5% alcohol volume. Such an NPC. This is like the height of NPC culture to be talking about, like the alcohol percentage of beverages, but I don't know, whatever. Maybe this is my my transition to becoming an NPC. Never mind, all this male to female transitioning. I'm keeping it simple and just transitioning to an NPC. I'm becoming, well, no, I'm not, of course. The bike shop situation was substantial evidence of that fact, I think, that I'm quite far removed from being an NPC. Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting thing about autism, right? It's like, it's so ego dystonic, right? So like, you don't, as the autistic person, feel there's anything amiss, awry about you, right? But when you interact with people, you see them perceiving you, and they are not interacting with you like they're interacting with another person. There's this, at least I'm thinking about the people in the bike shop, right? Just because it's the most recent example of when I had the most sort of substantive sort of interaction with another human being. There's just this look of like bewilderment in their eyes, like, oh my god, like, who is this person? Why are they in here? What are they asking me this for? Like, all of this. I mean, I felt like I was asking pretty normal questions, like, do you have this bike rack that I need? I mean, I have disc brakes on my bike, so you need racks that have a specific type of clearance. You can't just get a rack. You need one that's more, has more clearance on it. And so I was asking them this, and then I was asking them, like, they said yes, they can fit that for me, and I was like, okay, so I will go and, I guess, look at a bike rack and buy one, and then you can fit it for me. And they were like looking at me like I was asking them, like, bro, do you want to go and, I don't know, like, raid like a fucking a warehouse with me or something, and like just some crazy stuff, like, insert fucking crazy hypothetical situation. And then all of the other customers as well were just looking at me like, this fucking guy is, I don't know. I mean, I guess, like, whatever, I'm just, I don't know, this kind of shit just makes me hate people. Like, I've had this before when I've been doing these sort of journey type things, traveling, whatever. Like, a specific example I'm thinking of was when I was riding a bike from Copenhagen to the north of Norway, and it was way too early in the year to be doing it, so it was kind of cold once I got above, a certain latitude. There was snow still and stuff, and so during the day, taking breaks and stuff like this, I basically would eat inside of supermarkets, and people would just stare at me when I was sitting there eating. Really giving me really, like, hostile looks, like looks of, like, a deep contempt. Person that I was with at the time, because I didn't do this alone. I don't know. This person might listen to this. I don't know. Hello, if you are. They said to me that, because on this trip, like, I was eating a lot of Rice Krispies. It's just, Um, I would eat like a whole box of Rice Krispies for on these breaks, whatever, for like lunch, dinner, whatever. Just as a meal, I would have a whole bowl of Rice Krispies, and not a whole box, sorry, not a bowl, a whole box. And I mean, this person that I was with, they hypothesized that people were taking umbrage with the fact that a grown man was eating what I guess majority of people would consider to be a children's cereal, and that's sort of like a social faux pas. Like that's you don't do that, right? As an adult, you don't eat children's cereal, at least not in public. And so I this fact had to be known to me, right? I had to be made aware of the fact that I was transgressing, right? It's like, bro, like be careful, be careful. You're gonna be exiled from the tribe. We're gonna leave you. We're gonna abandon you, and you're gonna perish. Like you can see why people become fucking misanthropes, right? If you're not accepted, but this is the thing, right? That people don't understand. Like normies say, right? To use that term, they don't understand why people become hateful of others and yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna go here. Like, like why people do just like dark misanthropic shit, like shooting up schools and so on, right? And it's because they're unable to comprehend this, what it's actually like to be an outsider, to just be completely shunned and rejected. Um, you see, you're able to see a side of humanity that no one who's accepted and is sort of within this hive sort of nexus, right, is ever able to see. They don't see the unsavory side of humanity because they are the unsavory side of humanity, and they'll never understand the POV of someone who's outside, what they're able to comprehend. They're sort of, I guess, reduced to not being human, and therefore they can actually see what it is to be human. Something like that. And it's not really a pretty picture, to be honest. I mean, I'm generalizing here, but because I know there are a lot of really good people out there. But they're definitely few and far between, for sure. There are exceptions to the rule. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe this is all just projection. I was traumatized by, a handful of people, and now I just see those people everywhere I go. I anticipate those kind of people wherever I go because it keeps me safe, right? It's better to err on the side of caution and to think that there's a threat when there isn't a threat, because, it's better to, if there were a threat, to act accordingly in order to protect myself. And I think that's probably partially true, but the problem is that it's so absolute in the way that it distorts perception. Anyway, that was kind of a digression. So, where was I? Yeah, the rack. Okay, so I got the rack, fitted the rack. It's really not. Um, it's not an optimal rack. There are a few things I need to do with it to tweak it that may not even really solve the problem that I have with it. But it's working well enough for now. I'm able to mount the backpack on it, and yeah, that's enabled me to cover a fair amount of distance today, actually, and get through the Netherlands and into Germany, which is where I am now, in a field in Germany, like 2 hours away from Dusseldorf, where tomorrow I have myself a motherfucking hotel booked. Which I mean isn't. I mean it's a necessary thing, but I'm not too how to put it. Yeah, like I'm not like anticipating too much. I don't have very high expectations. Like I'm used to being filthy now, and I know that like, yeah, sure, I'll have a shower tomorrow. It will be nice. I'll feel nice after the shower, but within a day, I'll get back to feeling like exactly as I'm feeling now. So for me, I suppose the main thing is really just being able to charge up my battery packs. That will keep me going for another, I don't know, 10 days or something like this. Maybe. I'll try and push it for as long as I can. Yeah, now that I have this rack, I think I'm going to be exclusively cycling. Cycling until I just get sick of cycling and feel like walking, but yeah, I have the option now to cycle relatively comfortably. I'll probably still, it's kind of inevitable that I'll develop carpal tunnel. This has happened before when I've done long cycling trips. So yeah, maybe I'll want to start walking then once my hands start seizing up and I can't. I lose sensation in my hands. Yeah, I mean it's probably a good idea to do so, right? So yeah, but anyway, once I've done this shit in Dusseldorf, charged up my stuff, had a shower and so on, I probably in the next week or 10 days, however long it takes for me to exhaust my battery pack and tolerance for feeling filthy, I probably covered a good amount of distance, maybe even out of Germany into Poland, who knows? Because yeah, this is the thing, like I was touching on, this issue of being impatient and wanting things to move faster, even though there's not really anywhere for me to go to. Like I still feel this urge, this insatiable drive to just move and like quickly, right? Make haste, Shadowfax. Yeah, that's pretty much me. But I'm not on really any kind of mission. So I mean, yeah, I mean, now that I'm moving faster, it kind of gives me less time to sort of think about what's going to happen when I hit the borders of Europe. Because, don't have, I mean, I would like to continue, right? So, I think so, unless I get sick of this, diminishing returns and all that. But, like, I don't have anything else to be doing, to be honest, and, I can continue doing this. So, yeah, I need to figure out, like, start thinking seriously perhaps about how I would continue to move east. we'll see. It kind of makes me feel a little bit uneasy because it's completely unknown. I mean, I've been outside of Europe before, right, but not into these particular areas that like I'll have to initially pass through. But again, it's like, right, I'm at this point of existence where I'm sort of, it's dumb to be so to yield to this desire for self-preservation. It's irrational, wholly irrational. It's just my biology superseding my rationality. My rationality tells me that this drive for self-preservation is only leading me into a life where I'm seeking comfort that ultimately becomes uncomfortable, drives me kind of insane in a way, and makes me want to fucking die. So if that's where that leads, then it's probably on my best to allow it to run its course. I have no reason to be clinging to life. I have nothing really to lose, right? And I very much believe that when someone has nothing to lose, and it's like they should really be, not that they should be, but they can be, they're at liberty then to put themselves in situations that they otherwise wouldn't be willing to do. So, and I suppose that's kind of, I feel some, like, the imperative to do that, to do just that. Of which I would say that this is a manifestation of. And there have been many things in the last 2 years or something that have been a manifestation of such. This is just one such example, I think. Historically, I've been a very private, reserved, reclusive type person. Very socially anxious, very much concerned with what other people might think of me, and so on, and would have been very resistant to doing something such as this just even 2 years ago. So, yeah. I think that's enough for now. Maybe there were other things that I wanted to mention, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. So yeah.